Oh my gosh.
I'm happy to come back and break it down Barney style for my Marine Corps friends.
Haha, delete that. Good morning, I'm Jen, and we've got Mark Belinsky here from our government relations team, and today we want to talk to you a little bit about the Starr Act, and this is something Mark's been working tirelessly for many years. So before we jump into what you're doing about it, what is the Starr Act?
Well, the Starr Act is one of these bills that comes around every year and has vast support in Congress. 2/3 of Congress has supported this bill two years in a row, and it really supports combat injured. And it's along the same lines as the repeal of the widow's tax. There's an unjust offset out there, and it really reduces the amount of medical retirement pay our combat injured are receiving for the purpose of cost savings. And so most lawmakers do support this bill. The problem is that Congress has to come up with is how to pay for it. And so we are continuing to grow support, even though we've got 2/3 of Congress signed on to the bill, and it's making good progress.
All right, 2/3 of Congress, 2 sessions in a row seems like an overwhelming amount of support. It's not crossing the finish line because it's expensive, but obviously we want it to cross the finish line. So what are you and this Starr Act working group that you've assembled doing to make that happen?
Well, it's a coalition effort, as you talked about. It's a group. So the great thing about the Major Richard Starr Act is it's an opportunity for the military and veterans service community to speak with one voice to Congress and mobilize grassroots advocacy. And continuing to grow support and to have constituents call their lawmakers and ask them to support this bill is making a significant impact.
All right, that sounds like a really great idea, but before I came to MOAA, I did not understand how to contact my lawmaker. So I'm PFC Schmuckatelli, I'm out here, that sounds important, it sounds like something I want to support. What do I do?
So the easiest thing to do is to go to our Legislative Action Center on MOAA.org and click the call to action button for the Major Richard Starr Act, and a pre-formatted suggested message will be created for you, and then you can alter it, and all you have to do is hit send. We do have the Capitol hotline, so you can actually call your lawmaker's staff as well. And the important thing I like to stress out there is, particularly for the military community who remembers what it's like to be a commander and have staff, is it's important to talk to the staff, talk to the legislative assistant, and ask for them on the phone, because all of those contacts and all those messages have really made a difference with the level of support, and that's what's forcing legislative action when it's really a difficult time with the budget and the budget process. And so a lot of our advocacy goals require money, and it requires massive support, and so that's what we've been able to achieve with the coalition.
Excellent. All right, well, let's jump. We got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about Arlington National Cemetery. I know there were some proposed changes, eligibility changes. Did those go into effect? What happened with that, and where are we now?
So there is still on the books a proposed eligibility reduction for Arlington National Cemetery, which is pretty awful. It would make all of these folks who've been counting on going to Arlington National Cemetery and being buried with military honors, it would make them ineligible overnight.
So you have to have a Purple Heart, or
that's the proposal, was to reduce eligibility all the way down to those with Silver Star and above or Purple Heart. But that proposal is kind of sitting on the side now, because there is language in this year's National Defense Authorization Act that will require the Department of Defense and the Veterans Administration to have a report to Congress and says, hey, where is the next location for ANC? Because it's gonna run out of room one day no matter what. So just provide a joint recommendation in a joint report. So it's a great stepping stone and milestone for progress, because no one wants to make all of these folks who are in nursing homes and maybe at the end of their life and have had end-of-life plans for 30, 40 years and suddenly move the goalposts on them and realize they're no longer eligible. It's a very positive movement, and of note, in the House Armed Services Committee, when this issue came up, it was unanimous consent. Yeah, we want the report on that.
Is another report, though, just kicking the can down the road on a decision?
It's not, because the proposed reduction is in the federal rulemaking process, and this is congressional legislation. So in many ways, congressional legislation signals intent on which way we should go with the next national cemetery. And so I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to win this one.
All right, well, we're going to save the federal rules making process for another conversation because that sounds a little bit complicated. But we appreciate you sharing a little bit more about the Starr Act and about Arlington National Cemetery. I know there's more you're working on, and we hope to hear about it soon. If you are enjoying these advocacy videos, please like and subscribe, and drop us a comment if you want to hear more about a specific topic. Thanks for joining.